Hi everyone, in this video we'll be running through another way of presenting data sets which is called the bar graph. As we've said in our previous video, bar graph is essentially an upgrade of a dot diagram. Let's find out why. So before we begin, we need to run through again the frequency table, which is where we get our source for numbers for our bar graph over here. The first thing we have to do is look at the columns once again, and let's interpret this column. It says there are 4 students with 4 siblings, and it's clearly shown here in our bar graph where there are 4 students with 4 siblings in the bar graph here. And this is done because there's a y-axis over here that will tell us and allow us to actually look and compare the numbers of each category, and also x-axis to illustrate which does essentially the same thing, the number of siblings for each category. And the y-axis represents the frequency, and of course the x-axis represents the number of siblings. And if you look carefully again, right, you can also enjoy some form of clustering. You say, okay, wait a minute, here I can also see that there's a cluster in the lower numbers of siblings. So you can see that generally you can meet a student with 1 sibling, 0 sibling, or 2 siblings, as opposed to students with 5 siblings and 6 siblings, as denoted by the lesser number towards the end of this bar graph. And here you realize that why we want to use a bar graph is that we can easily compare the differences between each category. So for example, here you can see that the differences between students with 2 siblings and students with 1 sibling is that there are 4 students. And of course, this once again is aided by the y-axis that we have, as opposed to a dot diagram that does not have a y-axis. So immediately we get our advantage of a bar graph is that you can easily compare between categories, as opposed to things like a pie chart where you only get the proportion. We can discuss this in more detail and do a summary on the weaknesses and advantages of each chart. But as for now, that's what a bar graph offers, the ease of comparing between categories and the number of data points in each category. That's it for now. Thank you.